Hello again, Jeff Jacobs here with your first winter update for 2015-16. In this video I'm going to look at December, and of course this will include the Christmas prospects, so stay tuned and we'll see what's ahead. We're going to be using the climate forecasting system version 2 for this forecast. Which is, I think, fairly accurate, as models go. But obviously things can change with this quite easily. Going so far ahead, we are going into no man's land really. But it is just for fun, and we'll see what comes out of it. So, first of all, we've got this run of southwesterly winds at the moment, with high pressure over the continent, giving parts of France some really mild weather, actually, some pretty decent weather, but giving us a lot of wind and rain, with floods in northern England and northern Ireland, these spreading further north at times into Scotland. But basically, as we go through the rest of the week, we'll get more wind and rain, especially midweek, where again there's a possibility of flooding in the north, and this time, of course, further south into the southwest. But as we go through towards the weekend, we will find low pressure moving into North Sea, and this will allow much colder air to flood south during sort of Friday and into the weekend. So by Saturday we've got a real cold blast coming down from the Arctic. So there is a bit of a warning at the moment that we could be getting some snow, especially in southern England. So as you can see here, it's looking like southern England, right about the Salisbury Plains, Chiltern sort of area, Dartmoor, bits of Exmoor, could be seeing quite a bit of snow actually during Saturday. So that's one to look out for. But so as we go through the week, getting colder, and this then easing off as we go into the following week. Has high pressure in the Atlantic begins to nudge in. This then turning the air or the wind off the Atlantic and coming from a very warm source, as you see the track. So temperatures beginning to rise somewhat, especially in the south, although staying rather cold at times in the north. And then we get repeat performance with another low pressure system beginning to spread more wind and rain, snow over the high ground in Scotland, and then later on to lower levels in Scotland. So we've got quite a lot of, if the CFS is right, a lot of snow could fall over northern Scotland as we go towards the end of the month. But so this then beginning to spread this very cold air right around across the country. I think primarily we'll be getting, especially in the south, mostly of rain and some quite strong winds with this as well. It's going to feel rather cold, but most of the precipitation will be of rain rather than snow. Snow confined to the very high ground, and we could get some repeatable falls, especially like places on the Pennines and the mountains of Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland. But this then carries on through towards the south, and it then becomes sort of more of a northwesterly, so temperatures beginning to lift up somewhat. So as we go into December, I think the low pressure will try and sink south. So becoming somewhat colder once again, and again still the chance of some appreciable falls of snow, especially in eastern England. Out to the west, less cold here, more of a chance of being of sort of rain or sleet rather than snow. So the CFS is pushing yet another low system area of low pressure in basically a carbon copy situation, with this little feature here, if it comes off, could be very interesting. It's a small low pressure system coming off the parent low, and it could actually produce quite a lot of rain or possibly snow in southern Britain around about the 7th or 8th of December. Now we've got to keep an eye on this one, because it could actually be very nasty if it comes off. But yeah, so there you are. It's winding itself up in the south. It's mixing in with this very cold air. All the ingredients are there for a very nasty spell of weather. But anyway, we're going in. High pressure then takes over. It topples over the country. With this, we would get some obviously dry weather, but it'll be very frosty at night. And we would get some mist or fog patches in the morning, which could be freezing fog in some places. So on we go into the rest of December, into the middle of December, and we've got now a pool of cold air situated over the continent. The high pressure has moved off into the east, trying to allow a westerly flow. And indeed, the Atlantic does try and fight back, and to a certain extent it succeeds, especially over Scotland. But look, this high pressure is beginning to build again over the continent, preventing this low pressure systems to come into the country. And if you remember what I was saying in my long range forecast, I'm predicting this high pressure would develop over the continent. Sorry, it's a bit out of sync here, I'm afraid. But yeah. And then, of course, as we go into the rest of the month, we're going to find that this high begins to develop over the east. And it becomes quite a feature, actually, in the outlook period. Just get my computer to wake up a minute. So yeah, there's a high. It's over the continent, and it's pumping in an easterly regime of air, because it's quite a nagging easterly airstream. It's not particularly cold. It's cold, and it's raw, but it's not really that cold, if you know what I mean. And it spawns up low pressure over the Mediterranean. This then pushes this colder air further north. But as we go into the Christmas period, the CFS is saying that we're going to get high pressure, and that means a very frosty Christmas, if not a dry one. It will be white, but according to this, it will be frost rather than snow. But as we go into the end of December and into January, it sort of looks at my idea of low pressure in the southwest and high pressure over the continent, and this in turn could be very nasty indeed. It could actually produce quite a lot of snow in southern and southwestern Britain. So that's one to keep an eye on. In fact, it marries up with what I was saying in my long range forecast, which would happen around the end of January, with this low complex area low pressure just off to the southwest. So there you go. That's what we've got so far. It's all beginning to pan out. According to the CFS, it does look like Christmas Day at this present time will be dry and cold and frosty. But we've still got a long way to go yet. And I'm still keeping to my original forecast of it being a white Christmas and a very snowy one in the southwest. We'll find out. But whatever you're doing, I hope the sun shines for you, and whatever your weather, enjoy it.